What's going on with hoarding? That question was just posed to the Out of the Loop subreddit regarding images like these popping up across social media. People loading up on toilet paper as though your ass was experiencing PTSD.
They're almost already sold out. Everybody's panic buying right now.
Well, good news. There is no toilet paper shortage. So feel free to gamble on that tuna salad DoorDash dropped off by mistake on Sunday. Okay, so what's actually been going on with this stuff? Well, this new wave of toilet paper panic buying stems from nearly 50,000 longshoremen going on strike this week. You see, the contract between the U.S. Maritime Alliance, representing 36 ports along the eastern seaboard and Gulf Coast, and the unionized workers with the International Longshoremen Association expired at midnight on Tuesday, and these dock workers sought higher wages and protections against automation, as put by this union leader in Houston.
All we're asking for is our fair share. We want to keep language in the contract that prohibits automation, because what we don't want is we don't want robots doing our job.
It was believed that this strike could have had a major lasting impact on our country, with CNN citing one estimate that found that just a one-week strike could have cost the U.S. economy $2.1 billion, with other projections growing by the billions should the strike have gone on for months. Instead, it lasted 3 days. Yeah, they're already back to work now, as both sides came to a tentative 6-year agreement Thursday evening that'll end up boosting pay 62%.
This was a real celebratory moment.
It feels great knowing that we saved our job.
Okay, so what did this all have to do with your ass? Well, people stocking up on the soft and strong stuff unspooled from unfounded fears of this strike leading to a toilet paper shortage. As during the pandemic, a psychiatry professor told Time magazine website that when it comes to hoarding the stuff, we're social creatures, and people seen as unclean or unwell are at the risk of being shunned, as we're clean and presentable now that we're not using leaves to, wipe your butt. From Maine to Texas, even if this thing had lasted 3 months instead of 3 days, this longshoreman strike would have had no impact on the production and supply of toilet paper itself. As according to CNN, 90% of our toilet paper supply is made here in the USA in domestic factories. God bless America. And the rest of it usually comes over from Canada or Mexico, products that tend to arrive via rail or truck. In fact, the American Forest and Paper Association, the trade group that represents toilet paper makers, only worried about toilet paper exports out of the US, believing that the strike could have led to a glut of toilet paper, meaning we all might have needed to ramp up some of our own exports here. Now, some local outlets, like Myrtle Beach's Sun News, have observed that some toilet paper shelves are empty, not just because of the strike, but because of people buying supplies to send to areas affected by Hurricane Helene. But still, unless this sleuth of Charmin Bears has some sort of unionization push up its sleeve, fears that these striking longshoremen would have forced your hygienic habits to pivot from scalloped edges to bidet streams were unwarranted. And as for the people who panic purchased, at least they're well prepared to host a dinner party. Now, this longshoreman contract still needs to be ratified in January, and they're still working out other details around things like automation. But just in case you're one of the types worried about the general state of things, and you want to do whatever you can to avoid a messy, shitty situation, remember to vote on November 5th. Hey, I'm Greg Ott, and this is your daily news refresh. We put out all sorts of weird, interesting, and funny news stories each and every day. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, like this video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us reach more people in the algorithm. And drop us a comment to let us know what you think of this piece. In this recent video about a crazy taxi mod that drops in Kamala Harris and Tim Walz as playable characters, Vader for you just said, "I may have to buy a Dreamcast now. Thanks, man, but where were you in 2001?